going on, guys? Welcome back to the Neighbors Podcast and JB Monday. This is the first JB Monday of 2020. I am Mitchell. Jesse's here. What's up, dude?
Good morning.
What's up, man? It is early, but I kind of like it. It's actually not as early as we've done before.
Out of the way.
Yeah, it gets it out of the way, but also like
it gets you up.
It gets you up, yeah. Because
I would be sleeping until 9.
Yeah, it's like 9 is like still. Yeah, I'd be like, I'm sleeping until like 10, and then I wake up at 10, and I'm like, God damn, I wasted my whole Sunday.
Yeah, I do that Saturdays. I'm like,
yeah,
until 9.
People start to come over, and then it's just like I got no time to do shit. Because then I got to hang out with them and whatever, you know.
But it also works in well with football, with the NFL. So,
the Seahawks play today?
Yep, at 1.
At 1.
1:05 or something like that.
What time do you have breakfast? You're going to breakfast with your cousin or something?
It's supposed to be. They didn't text me yet.
Oh, well.
It's supposed to be probably around 10 is when I normally go there.
Yeah.
We'll see if they.
He knows. He knows.
He knows. Say anything.
He knows he's supposed to be there at 10. What you been up to for the last couple days? Because I saw you on Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, because I was watching football all day yesterday. I've been winning some bets. I had like
nice bets,
$250 in there.
Ooh.
Yeah, I won like last 2 weeks. I won like $250.
Is the only way really to make like good money like parlay bets?
No. I mean, you could bet like what's basketball team is really good right now in the NBA?
Milwaukee Lakers.
Milwaukee plays Atlanta.
Yeah,
they're gonna win, right?
Yeah.
Like you could just bet a lot of money on that game because they're gonna win.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like a heavy favorite, but you have to bet more money. Potential of losing more.
Yeah.
I think the upside is getting parlays. Yeah, if you hit parlays, the payout's a lot more.
Because it just seems like obviously it's harder to hit because parlays are based off of a bunch of different shit happening. So it's like if you can hit all of them, like I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast or just in person.
I think it's person.
Yeah, because my cousin when he was here for Christmas, hit one of his friends hit won all 4 of his parlays and he won like $10K.
Yeah, he probably put like $1K down.
I mean, I don't think he put in like too much. He might have done that. I don't know, but he won like 10 grand.
Unless it was just like 4 major upsets.
I think 2 or 3 of them were
being conservative.
Yeah,
but if they're like bigger upsets, yeah. Like I won the back-to-back weeks. I won like 3-team and 4-team parlays, and they were just $20 bets.
Yeah, and you won.
They
how
netted
much?
like $140 each.
Yeah, right.
And then last night I bet on the games. I picked Buffalo. Did you watch any football games?
No. Doug and I talked about it, like about the games on the Blazer podcast, but we didn't I didn't watch anything. Mostly because if it's not the Seahawks, like I don't really have like a horse in the race. Yeah. And even with the Seahawks, I'm like,
yeah. I mean, I guess that's where betting comes in for me. I don't bet on the Seahawks.
Yeah,
I'm too emotionally invested.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah.
But like other games,
that's
I don't
smart,
give a shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like just watching, make a bet. Well, I bet. I did a parlay yesterday since I had $250. I'm like, I'm gonna make a $50 bet today.
Ooh, was that high for you?
I've made those quite a few times, but I haven't been doing that lately. I've just been pretty conservative.
Yeah.
But I bet Bills were the lower seed playing at Houston, underdog, like 2.5 point underdog.
Okay.
So they could lose by 2 points, and you would still win if you bet that particular bet.
Yeah.
But I picked them to win just straight up, the money line. So that's you get a little bit. The odds are a little more conservative for spreads, and they get wider with just pick'ems.
Yeah.
So like a heavy favorite, you'll get less money if you
Yeah.
were to just bet on a spread. But I did a pick'em, and they were winning the whole game until the end of the game, dude. And then they went down by 3. Then they drove it down, kicked a field goal, and tied it. I went to overtime. Had a drive in overtime. Got close, did nothing.
Fuck.
Bummer, dude. Because I bet on them, and then I bet Titans +4, the spread +4, so they could lose by up to 4.
Yeah.
And they won the game. And it was a $150 payout, 166 actually. I was like, you guys, that was a burp right there.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Don't you always hate those when
though.
it's just like you don't have, you don't even feel it, all of a sudden it just like shoots up the back of your throat. You're like, where the fuck did that come from?
Coffee makes me burp.
Does it? That's kind of weird that it would make you burp. It's not like, what is it? What is it called? Why can't I think of the word?
Carbonated?
That's the one.
Carbonated coffee. Is that a thing?
I don't know. Probably. Probably in like, when they're in like cans and shit.
Okay.
I'm sure it's there.
because I don't want to lose it, we were talking about Marvel movies.
Oh yeah,
We always talk about movies and shows on this, I realized.
Yeah, because that's what we like it. You know.
I mean, it's wintertime.
Yeah, you just bundled up. We're not going to the beach or.
Well, I watched Iron Man for the first time.
Dude, that's just so insane to me because it came out in 2008, and like at our age, like that would have been, you know, a movie that we were like, oh shit, this is sick.
Never seen it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Never seen it.
So good. Holds up.
Dude, I just realized I have just because I didn't watch movies for so long like that.
Yeah.
I just have a cachet of movies just saved up.
Yeah.
That I haven't seen.
Yeah, you have like 22 films.
Someone the other day was like, Devin was like, God, dude, I wish I could just go back and like watch that for the first time again and see
Iron
what
Man?
it was like. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I feel like on all these movies.
Yeah. Yeah, you just being able to do all of them. Dude, the Iron Man 1 still holds up. Like, the hardest part about the movie, I think, is just some of the technology, like flip phones. But even his phone that he had is like that. Yeah, the camera thing. Yeah. But even like his phone that he had was like that Verizon phone where you flipped it and the top, it looked like a T.
Yeah.
And so like even then it still kind of looks futuristic. So, I mean, what do you think of it overall? Like, it was awesome.
I thought it was. Like, for just movies, it was a good movie, which is big for me too. Like, we had an argument the other day with Troy and John about the movie Drive.
Okay.
They're like, it's such a great film.
Yeah.
And I watched, I'm like, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Yeah.
Not top 15 at all for me.
Oh, no way.
Have you seen Drive?
Yeah. Top 15? Fuck no.
No.
Yeah, not even close. Top 15 film of all time, Drive?
I was like, they were like just arguing that, you know, the scenes and the videography and everything. And I was like, okay. But first of all, right when I started that movie, I see him driving in the car, listening to 80s music. He's got his driving glove on.
Yeah.
Seeing clips to the side view, no driving glove. Instantly, I'm like, this is trash.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, exactly.
How do you see that? It's the opening scene. Maybe it's meant to be. I don't know. Anyway, like, Iron Man was a good movie. And I've really been enjoying, like, the superhero side of shit because it's just...
It's whimsical. It's fun. It's
it's cool. Dude.
There's no...
I want to believe it.
Yeah, and there's nothing, like, heavy about it, really. I mean, it gets heavier later in, like, Infinity War and Endgame, but a lot of it is, like, pretty lighthearted, fun, and typically they win in the end, right? So it's like...
He's just, that character's cool.
Tony Stark?
Yeah.
As a character? Yeah, I think that they played it. I mean, the craziest part to me about all of the MCU... Well, one, I mean, when you go back to just Robert Downey Jr. and casting him, so Jon Favreau is the person who directed and wrote the movie.
Jon Favreau is?
Mm-hmm. And he did
He's
Mandalorian.
the driver, right?
Happy Hogan, yeah. So he's doing Mandalorian. He did Elf. He's done Chef. He's done like all these.
He's in a lot of movies.
And most of the time
Jon Favreau's a well-known
He's like
name.
director, writer, actor. He does all three of those things typically.
You're saying that because I read Jon Favreau like in a credit somewhere, and I was like, I know that guy.
Yeah.
And then I watched Iron Man immediately after, and I was like, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. He's awesome. Yeah. Like, he is just. I think that he's really, really good at his job. I think he's really smart. So he wanted Robert Downey Jr. And at the time, Robert was just getting like okay from his past like heroin addiction and like getting clean and. Every person at Disney, because they were working coincided with Disney. That's the other crazy part is when Iron Man came out, it was Marvel Studios, but Marvel Studios had yet to be purchased by Disney. So the Incredible Hulk
timeline down.
Yeah, down. Yeah. So Incredible Hulk, Thor, I think Captain America, and Iron Man. So basically, like 4 of the films before Avengers, because Iron Man 2 is the other one. But I think when Iron Man 2 came out. They were now purchased by Disney. They all were released by like Paramount. That's who distributed the movie. And then they were bought out. And, you know, and the crazy part is what a lot of people don't understand too is contracts. Like who owns what? Who owns what IP? Because back in the 90s and like 80s, when they tried to make Marvel movies, well, the CGI and the things weren't available, you know, and it was really, really expensive. Things are cheaper now. And they made shit movies, so they sold away all their properties. That's why, like, Spider-Man is owned by Sony. That's why Fox had all of those other properties, was because Marvel, as a studio, was just terrible. They
Nothing.
made shit. And so almost everyone at Disney, because that's who they were working closely with, was like, no, you cannot cast Robert Downey Jr. They're like, under no circumstances are we going to have him.
Is it because
Because of just his past
because he was
history.
jailed for drugs and
Jailed and just kind of known for, like, he was a great child actor, came up and did a bunch of stuff.
Was he a great child actor?
Yeah, like people knew him pretty well. I can't really remember all the stuff, but he did the silent films as he portrayed Charlie Chaplin. I think that's his name.
Yeah, Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's his name. So he did.
Guy from like back.
Yeah, so he did. Charlie Chaplin did like the silent. He was the one who actually like branded the mustache, and then the like little short Hitler mustache that we all know from Hitler because then Hitler had it, and then Robert Downey Jr. like portrayed him in as and he looked almost exactly
Just
like him. It's insane.
He's got the right facial hair for that.
And just his he was like a really. I mean, he's objectively still a good looking dude, but like back in the day he was known for like being really good looking, and then he went downhill quick because he just got into drugs and he did all this stuff and he got
so was he always famous?
Yeah, he's been famous.
I thought he was just the heir to the Downey like quilted blankets and shit like that.
I don't think so. I mean, he might be.
No, I'm kidding. Just want to see if I can pull one over on you.
I was like, damn,
Downey.
is he?
Yeah, I know. We were talking about that at work. Gary said that to me and I'm like, really? And then I'm like, no, he's not, bro.
Yeah.
I would have known that by now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I was like, I don't know. Maybe he did inherit like Downey. Yeah.
I would have known that already, dude.
But I was like, he might be. I don't know. But so anyway, finally he did like a casting call or whatever, come in and audition in front of them. And then once they saw, it was like, oh shit, like this is awesome. Like he has to be it. And he embodies that role. I mean, even in real life, like he's just he just feels like Tony Stark. And so then starting from that one, they didn't know exactly what was going to happen again because they didn't have certain IPs. They didn't know what they could build exactly. They didn't know if they were going to get bought out by Disney or who was going to purchase them. And so when they were purchased, they had this back catalog of kind of like
all kinds of shit,
but like B level, like heroes. Like who knew who the Guardians of the Galaxy were before that movie? Like comic book fans did.
Yeah,
but
I didn't know. I mean,
but I didn't know either. And I've never really read comics. I've read a little bit now of like the Amazing Spider-Man. Because I was, I'm interested in it more now. But when I was a kid, I didn't give a fuck.
I remember
about
reading various comics here and there, but I didn't have comics.
But not like, you weren't like.
But now that I'm like thinking about like going through and reading pictures with the little blurbs, seems kind of cool.
I read a bunch of the Walking Dead comics, and those are so fucking savage. Remind me to talk about those in a second. Oh, I'll talk about it in a little bit, and it will blow your mind.
The
it's
MCU
so violent.
is crazy. The entire history.
Yeah.
I've been watching the movies.
Yeah.
They are sick.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I watched Spider-Man Homecoming.
Great.
So I'm like watching them all fucked up and out of order.
Yeah, all out of order, yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah,
because I'm appreciating the film.
Yeah.
But I do want to, like I said, I texted you the other day.
Yeah. Oh,
At
dude.
some point, dude,
I am
I don't know how many hours that would take. Probably at least 2 days if you just watch nonstop. I mean, the Endgame and fucking Infinity War is 6 hours, right?
It's close. For sure. Let's look.
I started watching Civil War last night. That's like 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah. They have this shit added up, or are they just telling me how many films there are? Total runtime MCU as of April 28th, 2019, so that's including Endgame. So it doesn't include Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yeah, I haven't watched that.
It's 48 hours. So yeah, I mean, it's 22 films.
Pretty awesome.
So here, yeah.
If you watch them in chronological order, though, not when which they were released.
Yes, yeah. Captain America, the first Avenger, and then going forward in time. Yeah, would be so much fun.
Yes.
The craziest part to me is the ability for the MCU to retain their actors over 22 films in different franchises, right? Because this is something
they don't include the Spider-Mans, right? With like Tobey Maguire.
No, they don't include any of that.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Tobey Maguire trilogy, its own thing. The Andrew Garfield 2 movies, its own thing, and then this one is moved over. So when the first Avengers came out, they had been in talks with Sony to put Oscorp, which is Norman Osborn and kind of the billionaire, and Green Goblin, that's who it is, and like Spider-Man's best friend and whatever his name is, I can't remember off the top of my head right now. I don't know why I can't remember his
Is he
name.
in the new films? He's not. Right?
He's not. Yeah.
I remember him from the old.
He
films.
was in. Yeah, like what's his Franco played him
Yeah.
in the first one, and Dane DeHaan played him in the other ones. But I don't know why I'm blanking on his name right now. But I don't give a fuck. The problem with those was the third movie for the Tobey Maguire trilogy was so fucking terrible. It was so bad because remember what it did? Like, it just shoved all these different villains and subplots, and they never really tied anything up. And they took Venom, who was like Spider-Man's biggest, villain, pretty much, and like killed him in a movie.
Just ended him. Yeah, I remember watching those because my mom had the daycare.
Yeah,
so I kind of vaguely.
And
I guess I remember 3.
The second one, or the like Andrew Garfield trilogy. There are 2 movies.
I don't think I watched either of those.
So bad, don't watch them.
But
they're super bad.
Like, the Homecoming was cool.
Homecoming was cool. A lot of people
I think the kid plays a good role. For me,
Tom Holland.
For Spider-Man, like, there's like certain superheroes, if you didn't read comics, I think we grew up with. Maybe.
Yeah.
Like Spider-Man,
Mm-hmm.
Batman.
Yep.
You would see Superman. I was never a fan of like Superman.
Me either. I think he has too many. He's too strong. He's not enough. Like, kryptonite's the only thing that hurts him. I don't give a fuck.
He's just so. And then you have like all the villains variously. I loved Batman. I always loved Batman.
I would say in terms of like parallels, Iron Man is as close to Batman as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Black Panther would be close to that because they both kind of have money and that kind of thing.
Iron Man's vigilante, similar to like.
And like Playboy, they both get girls. Like, it's kind of that thing.
But I thought he plays a good role as Spider-Man, as like the kid.
Yeah, so
like
a lot of people, it's like very mixed. A lot of people really like him, and a lot of people think that he's too like Iron Man Jr. In my opinion, you can't build the MCU in something that really, really makes sense and have Spider-Man at a young age and not idolize somebody in the Avengers.
Yeah.
You just can't. It doesn't make any sense.
It's probably closest to him anyway.
Yes, exactly. Smart wise. Because Spider-Man's known to be very smart genius, on the same level. Once they both kind of started the same way, in the sense that like once Tony had come to the actualization that and realization that he was doing something wrong, and then he could try and fix it and do something to help everybody. That's what he did. I mean, in Civil War, Tom Holland, like, he says something like, I can play football now.
That's where I stopped right there.
Yeah.
Last night.
When he's like, I could play football now, but I couldn't then, so I shouldn't now. Mm-hmm. Like, I can do it, and I could be the best at it.
Yeah.
But I couldn't then, so I shouldn't now. But now I can like stop people from doing bad things. I want to protect people. Yeah. Very similar in that sense. So it's impossible as a character to divide them. I don't know.
How do you feel? I don't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, you're good.
How do you feel about how they introduced him?
Oh, like,
'cause I was like expecting to be a little bit more of an introduction from Tom Holland into Spider-Man. Like, I thought it was cool seeing but you just know he gets bit,
Oh,
rather than him just showing up in Civil War.
Yeah. So here's the reason why.
But I think it's cool.
Yeah. So the reason why is you have, okay, and that's another I'm glad that you actually brought up this point, because this further cements the reason why Tony is so important to this Peter Parker.
Bro, is he just dead forever?
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
So, I mean, I wouldn't say forever.
We'll see. Maybe he froze something of him. So
no. So, there's other ways, I think, but so the reason why was because the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man had come out very recently compared to that, and then the Tobey Maguire one. So we got an origin story for both of them, and we both got that's why people didn't like really the first Amazing Spider-Man, was because it was basically a repeat. It was like, with great power comes great responsibility. Yeah. And we already know this part of it, and so it's kind of fun to not know who Uncle Ben was, because he very clearly had an uncle because he's with his aunt, and they talk about how they had a hard year. Mm-hmm. So that's another reason why Tony's so important. So one, you have Spider-Man growing up in a world where he's recently bit, he's still very young. He's 16 at the time. You have the Avengers and Age of Ultron have already happened. So now he's seen 2 catastrophic events of the Avengers saving the world. He's, no matter what, even before he got bit, he's going to idolize those heroes. If that happened to us, we would. Yeah. I mean, think about how we've idolized U.S. troops. A lot of people really find that honorable. They want to be that. They kind of attach themselves to something like that. It's cool. Yeah. That's why we play Call of Duty and those kinds of things. So then to lose your uncle, and not only just lose your uncle, but you also lost your parents. So you lost your dad and your mom. you're gonna attach onto somebody who's like you've idolized your entire life and is gonna treat you like a son because he has, like in different ways. So, like, it just makes sense. Anybody who doesn't see that,
Yeah, I get it.
is an idiot. Like, they're just dumb.
Can I just say that Aunt May is a total babe too, dude? That actress.
Who? Wasp and Ant-Man.
No.
Who?
Aunt May.
Oh, Aunt May. Yeah. Oh yeah. What's her name? Marissa Tomei.
Total babe. Dude.
Yeah,
Oh
she's
my
super
God.
hot.
And I think it's funny how Tony Stark plays that.
Yeah.
Every time. You're a very attractive aunt.
Yeah. 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 You're shockingly attractive, aunt. Yeah.
So.
He's
funny.
like, no. Yeah, dude. I really like it.
Fucking zaps him with the spider web.
Yeah.
Right in the door. He's like, get this off me.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
oh, sorry.
Yeah. He's it's super cool because Peter Parker is known to be awkward until he puts on like the suit, and then he becomes kind of like the Spider-Man, like a different character. Like he talks shit and like not like super hard, but like he'll like when he jumps over Captain America and takes his shield. It's like, hey everybody, like this is my shit now. Yeah. So
everybody,
yeah,
all nice and shit.
Yeah. He's like, Captain America, great big
Dude,
fan.
I love how they put the scene in there with Donald Glover.
Oh, that's huge, actually.
And he's just like, where is it?
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
he's like, I just heard you. He's like,
Yeah.
no, you didn't.
Yeah. And then when he's done, he's like, get this shit
to
off.
get better at this part
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the job. That's so
Yeah.
awesome.
He's like, you're a criminal. You're going to stay there. So the important part about him is that his character's name is like his villain character name or like his criminal name or whatever you want to call it is the Prowler. And if you watched Into the Spider-Verse, which I believe you have.
I did, but I want to watch it again because I passed out.
You know
some
the
point.
uncle who's like fucking skating and he's got the purple shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Prowler. And so whose nephew from the Prowler is Miles Morales, which is the first African-American Spider-Man. So if you introduce the Prowler and he says he's got to pick up his nephew, he's picking up Miles. So it introduces that Miles Morales is in fact in the MCU. We just haven't seen him yet. And he hasn't been bit.
So they're setting it up for just more and more movies, dude.
Forever.
How many more superheroes can they unveil?
Well, did you see?
Tons?
I mean, yeah. They just have such a huge fucking catalog. And the fact that now that they have Fox.
Donald Glover's going to be it? I actually really like Donald Glover. Dude.
I do too.
He's super talented.
Very talented.
So.
He's really good.
He even played a thug gangster, and that's like opposite of what he is.
Yeah, he's just so
He's
nice.
playing it good.
Yeah. So they have set it up, but now that they have Fox, that since Disney bought out Fox, they own the Fantastic Four. Now they have X-Men. They have all these things. So we have the potential of seeing like Wolverine, and I mean, it won't be played by Hugh Jackman.
They're all originally Marvel as well.
They're all Marvel characters,
Dude.
but they were sold off. This is the big thing, is that they were sold off because they needed money.
Dude. Hugh Jackman is another perfect casting for
Amazing.
He is
Yeah.
Wolverine.
Yes,
Whoever else
for
gets
sure.
Wolverine, that sucks.
Yeah, we've heard Kit Harington, the guy who played Jon Snow, but he actually just got cast.
He needs to get buff then.
Well, yeah, but he just got cast in one of the Marvel movies already, so he's gonna be in Eternals, which comes out in November of this year.
Who do we think could be it? What's the guy?
So one person said,
from The Punisher, but can you do that?
"Oh, John Bernthal." Potentially you could do it because technically speaking, every Netflix show was like loosely connected, but then they kind of like scrapped the idea of connecting them.
Luke Cage and shit. And
Yeah, so like
these
all that
different
doesn't even exist anymore, I don't believe. Which is a bummer because, dude, the guy who plays Daredevil is so good at playing Daredevil, it's insane. Like, his name's Charlie Cox. Fucking amazing. And John Bernthal's a great Punisher too, dude. Some of the trailers, like, oh shit,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, savage as fuck. He's one of my favorite actors too. But I think that like Zac Efron has been talked about because he's just huge, and I've seen
Charlie Hunnam.
Charlie Hunnam might be sick. Yeah, but he'd have to get. I mean, he's been big, but he's got to get like real big. Charlie Hunnam would be good. I would actually like to see Charlie Hunnam as Ghost Rider.
I wish they didn't cast fucking Tom Hardy as Venom, dude.
How come?
Wait, that's not Marvel, right?
It's Marvel, but it's Sony, and
Sony.
we don't know if that's going to connect to the MCU yet because of all the fallout. Because as soon as basically what happened was they finished their picture deal with Sony, Disney, and them, and then they couldn't agree on a deal. So then essentially Tom Holland Spider-Man was removed from the MCU, meaning everything that happened after Far From Home he would no longer be a part of. And then after there's so much like fan outrage, like it didn't make any sense, Tom Holland calls up people and they really work it out. So now they're finishing the trilogy in the MCU, and he's going to appear in one other like Avengers style movie. The thing is that because like
Spider-Man's cool. I like how they brought him back into it.
Yeah,
It's
dude,
a cool
it's insane.
superhero.
It's insane that this is like that's the other that's so amazing about it. It's 23 films with barely any recasting, and you also cross company like real world company lines to get a character. That's like it's insane. I think people really take it for granted, like how amazing that is. It doesn't happen ever.
Well, they're gonna have to recast now though at a lot of shit, huh?
We'll recast in which way?
Well, like what we're just talking about, like Wolverine's gonna be different, dude.
So yes, so like because they'll be completely different properties.
Isn't Captain America gonna be someone different now?
Well, I don't think that they're gonna cast like another Captain America. Just that mantle of like Captain America will change to different people. So like
okay,
yeah, so like that's why a lot of the Disney
kinda
Plus
like Black
stuff.
Panther explains how Black Panther does it when the new king.
Exactly. So
new
at one
warrior.
point his dad was Black Panther.
Yep.
Now he is. So there will be but so here's my biggest issue with things moving forward is this might sound really bad to some people, but socially speaking, Marvel's trying to appease every fan possible. And in my opinion, when you start to really look too far into your fan base to make sure that different segments and different percentages of your fan base are happy, you start to make shitty decisions. So like,
Yeah, I think you just got to go with what you're doing and keep doing it because
so
people like what you're doing already.
Exactly. So meaning that they're going to really start to push heavy forward on like,
It's going to become another Star Wars situation, dude. We're just pumping movies out that are trash.
yeah, I mean, some people would argue they've already done that.
Well,
I think they're all really good, but I'm saying
What's
that
the last Spider-Man, is that one a good one?
oh, it's awesome.
What is it? Far From Home?
Far From Home.
It's awesome?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's
not
awesome.
but
I think it's really cool.
I'm going to watch it regardless.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's really cool. I thought they did a really clever job with Mysterio, and like, I just thought it was really good.
Dude, those movies are sick, and I have a bunch of them. I haven't watched any of the original Avengers. I think I watched them maybe back in the day. I remember briefly Magneto, they're on a beach. Maybe that's not even the Avengers.
No, that's X-Men, bro.
Yep,
Yeah.
not even it.
Yeah.
So, I don't even know. Devin said something the other day about one of the Avengers, and I was like, what's that? And he's like, oh, it's the Avengers 2. And I'm like,
Age of Ultron, yeah.
never seen it.
Yeah. Dude, I'm excited for you to continue to watch it because it's just so insane. Like, it's just so good. But the reason you're asking me of, like, could Tony Stark come back? Well, in Doctor Strange 2, it's called, like, Multiverse of Madness.
Mm-hmm.
So, multiverse, you know, different dimensions and different universes happening at the same time along the same path, and we know that exists too because of Endgame. We saw that they could travel into different things and take the Infinity Stones from different timelines and then bring them back. So we know that it's possible,
Dude,
right?
That just leaves like unlimited possibilities when you have someone like that.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Yeah, you can do whatever you want. And so it's all magic. And that was the biggest reason why they didn't want to bring Doctor Strange into it from the very beginning, was because with magic, it's just really hard to, even though you have the Hulk and you have like the God of Thunder and you have all this shit, it doesn't really, like, you're just kind of like, how do you get people to believe in that?
Yeah.
And make sure that you can keep it also grounded too. Like, you have to keep it a little bit grounded. But what I was saying earlier was, as they're pushing forward, like in Thor 4, like Natalie Portman's going to become Lady Thor.
Lady Thor?
Or like,
going to have a hammer?
Yeah, and it's just like, to me, does Natalie Portman, like, it just seems very...
I still need to watch the original Thor.
So
a little bit.
She's in the first two. She's not in the third at all. And in both of them, she's very much damsel in distress, kind of... Yeah. I just didn't... They haven't set this shit up at all.
Chris Hemsworth, another great casting.
Great. Dude, almost all of their casting is just
Thor.
insane.
I started to watch the first Thor.
Yeah.
And then I was like getting tired, so I shut it off. But
he looks very different too in the first one. He seems more
he is bulky in that movie, dude.
Oh, he is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will destroy them, Father. I'm like, dude, this guy is nuts.
Yeah, so there's a couple of things that they're going to do that I'm not a super big fan of. Like, they're very much pushing forward, 2020 social stuff. But I hope that they do it in a really cool way. I'm not optimistic based off of that one scene in Endgame when it was like all the girl power stuff. Because I honestly think, this is the thing.
What's her name? What's Scarlett Johansson's
Black Widow.
Dude, she's a badass too.
Natasha Romanoff, yeah. And Black Widow movie's coming out this May.
Oh shit, that might be tight.
Yeah, you haven't seen any of it? The
No.
guy who plays the cop in Stranger Things, he's like the Russian Captain America.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but he's like fat. Yeah, he's like fat and stuff, and because he was in like prison, they like break him out. And the timeline is that this happens like the Black Widow happens post Civil War, pre Infinity War. So it's like what happened in that space for Black Widow, because obviously she's not around anymore.
See, I don't know. You are. I mean, Neighbors podcast fans now know that you are completely nerded out on Marvel. Every fucking bit of information about it.
I have a pretty good wealth of information that I'm sure that some people have more than me.
Have you been watching anything else?
Um,
Since we're on the topic of shows.
I've watched a couple episodes of season 2 of You.
Never seen it.
I'm not sure that you'd like it. It's more like it's kind of like a thriller romance. Like, I don't know how to explain it really. It's like Joe is
Yeah, I'm not watching it.
Yeah, it's like, but you might like it because there's like some mystery and some stuff to it, but it's like also very, I don't know, it plays to. I don't even know how to explain it really.
You know what?
It's kind of like a crime show almost. I don't even know.
Yeah.
It might be interesting for you to watch a couple.
Good for me to get into it, man.
It's
For
good,
shows,
but I just
can
don't
watch
know.
Movies,
like, yeah,
shows have to be good.
You might like it. Give it 2 episodes, and you might enjoy it.
I watched Don't Fuck with Cats. Seen that?
No, John I think was talking about it to me. It's like fucked up.
Well, they don't show him like killing cats.
Yeah, but he's doing it.
They show like beforehand, like what's gonna happen to the cat.
Yeah.
Based on the video that he posted.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Is it an actual documentary?
Yes.
So it's real.
It's real.
Yeah.
Like,
see, I don't know if I'd want to watch it.
People on the internet all around the world it's called Don't Fuck with Cats because the guy killed cats on the internet. And then
killed somebody.
That was
right?
like, well, people just love cats.
Yeah.
And that's like just an unwritten rule on the internet. Don't fuck with cats or dogs as well, But don't fuck with cats. And like, it pissed so many people off that they just formed this group on Facebook and they're like, let's find this motherfucker. And it was like,
wow,
hundreds of people just at first. Then it became like, he posts another one, comes like thousands. And the original like 100, 200 people broke off at that point because there's just so much. There's thousands of people searching for who this dude was. Breaking down videos based on pictures.
Yeah.
Everything. What's in the room? What do they got? Yeah, that part was kind of cool because you don't see a lot of positive coming out of technology and like connecting people lately. It's been all negative.
Yeah, because they don't talk about positive. Why would they?
Yeah.
It's not nice. Dude, you know how many positive things happen on a daily basis that just get blown by?
Oh, everything.
Like, a couple weeks ago, or not too long ago, there's a streamer on Twitch. His name is Dr. Lupo. He did a 24-hour stream for St. Jude's.
Heard of his name.
Raised $2 million. $2 million in 24 hours.
That's crazy.
Not talked about.
Yeah,
like that's a huge thing. Like, why isn't that being talked about by someone somewhere? Like, not just on Twitter. But that's the thing is that I was talking with this to Doug. I said, you know how like very much when we were in high school and then a little bit after, like it seemed very like it was very like those truth commercials came out about tobacco and like smoking cigarettes, and now it's very like, you fucking smoke cigarettes. That's how it is now, where before everyone was smoking cigarettes. The doctor was smoking too and blowing that shit in your face while he's telling you have the flu. Like,
I remember going to restaurants, my pops was lighting up cigarettes.
And so now think about how quickly that changed to everyone being like, fuck cigarettes are bad. Like the vast majority of people say that. Even people who smoke them are like, I wish I didn't smoke these. So I wonder if by 2030, all of us are going to look at social media and we're going to go, why the fuck did we ever let this happen?
Dude, they're on one of the podcasts. Yeah, I mean, I agree. On one of the podcasts I was listening to, Heartland Radio, they were just talking about like, they did like their top 5 movies of the decade, top 5 shows.
Yeah.
And they talked about the technology that came out within the year. Pretty crazy, dude. Like every single subscription pretty much has come out within the decade.
Yep, for sure.
There wasn't anything.
Dude, 2004 was YouTube. Hasn't even been around 20 years. And look at how much power YouTube has.
Yeah, I've used YouTube, I swear to God, since 2004.
Probably right when it came out. Yeah.
But crazy advancements in technology. Smartphones, I think.
Yeah, insane.
I don't know if they were predated 2010.
Maybe like the very first ones. Like I remember Doug having the iPhone like 3
or
whatever it was, but like it
Not
wasn't
very good.
I mean, not very good, and like they had apps, but like
Yeah.
they were so new that it was like having a home computer when they first came out. It's like you have dial-up internet, you can't do shit. It literally takes 37 years to download like a 200 megabyte thing. Like,
yeah, it's just
trash.
crazy. A decade is a long period of time, but when you look back, it doesn't feel long.
Yeah.
But when you're going forward, it is a long time.
Yeah, it's like it's insane when you do those like recaps of the decade.
Mm-hmm.
What came out from 2010 to 2020, or like those kinds of things. There's so much.
Well, I think about like really 2000 until now, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I remember everything in those 20 years. You know what I mean? Like because
Big
of how
things,
old
yeah.
we are.
Yeah.
Not everything.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we know that decade.
Yeah.
Like we were born in 92.
Yep.
So we know 95 to maybe 4 or 5. We lived in that.
Yeah.
But we really like lived
In the 2000s. Yeah.
Boom, right there.
Yeah.
So like 20 years when I was thinking about this the other day, when you look back, it's like, oh my God, dude, that did go by pretty fast.
Yeah. Very
But
fast.
thinking about it, it didn't go by that fast. 2010.
Yeah, there's parts for sure. I mean, it's a weird, like, time is a weird thing.
It's a weird concept to grasp. Dude.
Yeah, because it's like there were things where I remember in high school where it was just like, dude, this is taking so long. Why have I not graduated? Like, why is it not time to be done yet?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I've just been doing all this stuff. And then post that, it's like, holy shit, I'm almost 30.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
But it's still like a long ways away.
Yeah, it's still fucking over 1,000 days.
Yeah.
So it is interesting. I think when you do more of a condensed recap of, time, when you go from 2000 to 2010, like YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, Instagram, Snapchat, just on you start to have smartphones, like all this shit, you go, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Like so much didn't even exist. Like the main stuff we use now that we hold the most popular didn't even exist 10 years ago, 7 years ago. Like
Yeah.
some of that shit just wasn't there.
Pretty nutty, dude.
And
The phone is a straight up computer,
oh yeah,
obviously.
Yeah,
we
I mean-
know that, but like, it
Yeah.
was not.
no, yeah,
I
at
remember
all.
my flip phone had like the internet, had like the world, the globe with the little like
yeah, and it cost like
arrow around it.
forever. Like it just cost so much money to do shit. My first phone was a prepaid Nokia that only could have Snake on it, and could like send
a
like,
game.
yeah, like could only have Snake and could only like I had the prepaid text of like 200.
I don't know.
And that counted going out, like outgoing and incoming. So it was like you only had really 100.
My dad has this flip phone still. He uses it.
Oh yeah,
I don't know when it was.
yeah.
It's got to be fucking.
I'm surprised it still fucking works.
It's dude. I got my first phone in 7th grade.
Yeah,
that's
it was
like
probably around that time,
2006.
6th, 7th grade.
2006, I think. 2007.
No, that's way too late. No, maybe you're right. 2008.
2008, 2009 was our freshman year.
Yeah,
No, that was our 2007, 2008 was our freshman year.
yeah, because we graduated 2011.
Yeah, so 2005 maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, yeah.
2006.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many phones we got between then. A couple maybe. So
Yeah.
my dad's phone's probably from like 09.
Yeah, so I had, what did I have? I had like the
He's
Nokia
a
phone.
brick.
Yeah, I bet, dude. You just withstand anything.
Its battery lasts fucking 4 weeks, dude.
Does
You
it?
don't use it?
Yeah,
Like,
just
it's
yeah,
just-
because there's nothing to drain that shit.
it's awesome.
Phone calls and
It is
texts.
awesome.
But I think I had like the Nokia. Then I got the Razor, and then when the Razor broke, I got like this shitty ass flip phone, and then from that phone I got that like little square one that I could flip.
Oh,
and it was
yeah.
like the texting one, and I remember because you could put like your lanyard through it, but the light in the corner of it that was able to make it like swivel or whatever. Would light up, and I could change it to different colors based on who was texting me. So I always knew like who had texted me. And then from there, I got like the Droid, which was like remember that phone? It was like one of the first smartphones that
Yes.
literally was like grind. Remember that shit?
Click it, the whole thing's like.
Yeah. And so that's what I had, and then I think after that I got an iPhone,
I don't remember.
and then from there I've only had iPhones.
Yeah, I know I had Android before.
because like
I had
iPhone, it
iPhone.
wasn't. I mean, Apple has just super changed too. I mean, there's
Well, I
no
remember-
iPods don't exist. Like they don't really make iPods. It's phones. You buy a phone.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still some
The
obviously,
iPods,
but
dude. The iPods is where I got into it, but like I remember because my mom had the daycare.
Yeah.
Ryan Detlefs had the iPod 1, a white one when it came out with the green screen and all that shit. And like
Yeah.
I was big on like illegally downloading music.
Yeah,
when I was
LimeWire and
fucking
shit.
Sixth
Just
grade,
giving your computer
fifth
AIDS.
grade. Just my mom's Windows Live 95. Just LimeWire, fucking kickasstorrents.com.
Yeah.
Could download torrents of everything, but we
Oh, yeah.
loaded Ryan's fucking iPod with music at my house just because.
Was it the big brick ass one,
I have
dude?
stacks of burnt CDs, dude.
Oh, still?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Just nothing written on them. You don't even know what's on it.
yes, those are the best.
Like 10 tracks, just boom.
What we should do is we should bring like a CD player and play it. Like, here's
I'm
one,
down, dude.
and just play it and like laugh at the selection of what you put on there. Because you know how many times I've made CDs and like the burnt CDs,
bangers,
but from
too,
like
dude.
one, like there's like 20 tracks on it because that's what they could hold, and there's no like it's like country, pop, hip hop, like all this shit, and you like go to the one song and it's like Baby Lock Them, and the next one's like, "Rah!" And you're like, what? Why did I put these on the same CD? It doesn't make sense.
I have mine was probably a majority hip hop back then when I was younger, but I did have you remember like fucking, I remember the bands coming out. Remember Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, bro.
Do you remember those little?
I remember the kids in my neighborhood. We had a bunch of us.
Yeah.
Josh and Patrick
yeah.
and all them. We would be jumping on the trampoline, pretending we were fucking JT. Bye, bye. Oh, that's fucking Bye, bye, bye. That's
Yeah,
NSYNC.
that's in sync. Yeah, but dude, do you remember those little things that they used to give them at McDonald's that would have earplugs?
Yeah.
and
Played music.
you had to get the little cartridge things that played like one song for 30 seconds.
Yeah. 30 seconds? I thought it had the whole song.
I don't know. Maybe it did. Maybe just one song.
But
Dude, I remember when I was a kid and I would try and sing songs when I had the thing on. I'd just be like, and I wouldn't know. Have you ever done that?
oh, not know what you're saying?
Yeah, when you're like 5, and
Oh,
you're like
yeah.
listening to shit and like you're trying to sing it out loud, but you can't hear yourself, and you're just like,
Dude. I still do that. I turn my shit up so loud I can't hear when I fuck
yeah,
up.
you're just like,
I remember
so
the
funny.
iPod, what were they called? The little ones.
Nanos.
The Nanos.
Yeah.
I had the long white stick Nano. That was like the OG
Yep.
one.
Yeah, I remember.
And you could undo the bottom. It had a USB right there.
I remember not having one, and we would always do 1 ear and
Friend phones.
before friend phones before basketball games. Freshman year,
Yeah.
I remember I didn't have that shit. I didn't have music to listen to. I couldn't just listen to my own
we were on the
shit.
bus. I was like, "You want to try use my friend phones?"
Yeah, I do remember. Yeah, so funny.
No, but I remember that iPod particularly held 60 songs.
Oh yeah, and you remember that you
I
memorized.
knew the order.
Yeah.
I could go back, forward. I know where my songs were. That was big in middle school. Then they had the clip-on ones. I
Yeah,
never
the
got the
little
full-on iPod.
Yeah, the big brick motherfuckers that
Yeah.
were like maybe an inch and a half thick of just metal.
Dude, I remember because Ryan, like I said, had the iPod 1, the original.
Mm-hmm.
And some other kid in the daycare got like the MP3 players and shit for Christmas. And
Oh,
we were
yeah.
like, trash. That shit's so garbage.
You poor.
Dude, kids are so mean.
Oh, so
I'm
fucking
thinking
mean,
about
bro.
like, I was a bully too. I was like, just you can't do that at the daycare. But we would N64 it up.
Oh yeah, dude.
And my mom would have to stop us because we can't keep playing video games. Kids got to go out and run around. But someone smashed my controller from Smash Bros, bro. They slam it down. Oh, dude. I'm going to
Dude, you know how many controllers Tevin broke of mine for Xbox when we played Halo? Yeah. And you're like, bro.
I don't get it. I've never slammed a controller.
I've
I've
me
done
either.
this. Like
Like you broke.
Try to
Oh, you
snap
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
batteries just fall out. It's like, oh.
Oh shit. It's getting crazy. Oh. You know, I wanted to talk to you about the Walking Dead comics. We don't talk about it right now, but
Okay.
don't let me forget.
Okay, yeah. I'm just reminiscing right now.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about the decade. But now I'm talking about 2000s.
But dude, I mean, it's just
Even then, it's like 15 years.
yeah, it's not a long time, man.
Not a long
But
time.
I asked Doug this because I picked up Doug. We did the podcast and I took him home and we went and got sushi because by the time we finished it was lunchtime.
Mm-hmm.
Both of us hadn't eaten. I asked him like, what was one of his favorite high school moments? Doesn't have to be your favorite, but just one when I said, "Hey Jesse, tell me a high school story." What's the first story that pops into your head?
Man, well, I always think sports, but I always try to go away from sports now because, I mean, I love sports, but
Yeah,
I love being around my friends more. So
Sure.
let me think for a second. Let me ponder. Favorite high school moments? Dude, lunchtime.
yeah.
I remember
chilling.
getting pants when I was a sophomore at lunch by Tevin.
Just whole dick out.
Whole dick out. I was like, oh shit.
Dude, now you get pants, sex offender.
Oh yeah. Come on,
dude. They do. The kids, kids in middle school were getting like they might get on like registries.
Dude, we
for
played bad games. We would run up motherfuckers in middle school playing with the Sharpie.
Yeah, we would go up to
like,
you had
what
like
was it called
assassin or ninja
or
whatever.
something?
Yeah, you would literally have a black Sharpie, like like a fucking hefty one.
Yeah.
And kids would just be walking, having a conversation, talking to their 6th grade girlfriend, and you just come up, grab them by the back of the head, pull it back, and fucking run the Sharpie across their neck, and you're like, boom,
people
bitch.
had it.
Yeah, people were just like, God damn.
Just had a Sharpie.
Yeah, and they're just like, what is
People
this?
were like, they stopped us though. I remember they were
Yeah.
like, dude, you guys cannot be doing that.
Yeah.
But
We were doing some stupid shit. I remember like a bunch of people got pants all the time. What else? We played Cardboard Kitty. We
Yeah.
did some stupid shit when we were kids.
That was before high school though.
Yeah, that was middle school stuff.
Middle school, but
I think in high school though, like you kind of graduate. Like I think most high schoolers have had a moment where they've like egged something, TP'd.
I remember when we were egging and I had one egg left and I was driving. Everyone was in my Explorer, and yeah, it was my Explorer. So it had to be like senior year.
You had red.
We're out fucking slinging eggs and
Yeah.
shit, and not at cars and shit, but at like
People.
people were playing Fugitive. Kids were
Okay,
playing
yeah.
Fugitive. So we like pulled up and like I specifically remember they were at Arrow Hassel and I chucked it from the forest way up in the air, try to get like an arch.
Yeah.
And one of them came down on the road, and everyone over there, this group of people standing for Fugitive, and
Yeah.
there are 2 cars right there. It hit the ground. Everyone's like, "What the fuck?" Other one, boom, right on the car. Dude, yeah, there was like 8 of us in the woods, and we had like eggs and water balloons.
Yeah.
And
Dude, I might have been
kids
with
just
you.
come running across the street, Javier.
Is this when John and one kid like
No, this
started
is a
wrestling?
different time.
Different time.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you were there that time.
Yeah.
And I threw an egg and this kid square in the head. I'm not an accurate thrower at all, if you know me. Just bing. I remember. But anyway, that time I was driving.
An egg hit him in between the eyes,
straight
like
up right here.
in the
I
forehead.
fired it like
Oh, dude, that would hurt so fucking
full
bad.
sprint. Boom.
Oh, dude, that
then
would
we
hurt
ran.
so bad. Yeah, I would run too.
But I remember I was driving, tried to throw it at the side of a Goodwill truck. And I went like this and slung it, and it just hit right inside my windshield. It just went all over me, dude. I remember slinging it and just being like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's what you get.
I remember coming back in.
We tied Josh Grigsby up to a tree, picked him up,
Yeah.
duct taped him to a tree, left.
He got out, though.
Yeah.
Let's put that out there.
He's like, "Oh."
Yeah, I remember all that. I remember coming in from fire drill at high school, running back through and taking everyone's fucking chicken nuggets, me and Brock. Because we were like the first ones back in at lunch.
You just started running through people's trays and
People
just
had all their
plucking
food
nuggets.
left out. Dude, it was like nuggets. We had like 20 nuggets a
Fucking
piece, dude.
thieves, bro.
Sitting in this section over the senior section over there.
Yeah, that's hella funny. God.
Yeah, we had good times in high school. I think probably my favorite moments from high school are still sports though, because they're the dearest to me. Basketball.
Yeah, and I think they're like kind of easiest to remember.
Basketball summer trips were always fun. The camps,
Dude.
loved them.
Yeah, camps were always fun. The one that sucked the most was Gonzaga. Like Gonzaga was a lot of fun.
In terms of like how
but
much
tournament we played all the fucking time. We were just in everything. We played like 4 games before 2 p.m.
Yeah, that was fun trip. I like the situational games we did back then
Yeah.
at that camp.
Yeah, where it was like 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
You're up 5, whatever, like how do you sustain the lead? There's a lot, or you're down 2, there's 10 seconds left, you get that one play.
Yeah.
How are you going to run it to get your 3-point shooter open? There's a lot of really fun stuff like but do you remember like messing around over at Doug's old house, the one off like by Johnson over there?
Oh, yeah.
We played so many dumb games. You threw that
We talked about
empty
that
water
first
keg.
episode I ever came on here.
Yeah.
The empty water keg smashed into the wall.
Yeah.
I broke a lot of people's shit, dude.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, that door. It's fixed up though.
It's fixed. Yeah, it looks
You
good.
can still kind of see it, but
A little bit, but not bad.
not bad.
Yeah. It's so funny, dude. Yeah. Who else? Like Ryan. I just remember Ryan because he was the kid that you could kind of like pick on.
Dude, me and Ryan have a lot of childhood memories.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ryan was like one of the kids that you could kind of like pick on, but it wasn't really picking on him because he would fire back and he would do stuff. So it was, but I wouldn't say it was always mutual, but like anytime James would fuck with him and then Ryan would get like hurt And everyone would be like, "Oh shit, he's like actually hurt." And then James, he would be like, figure it out. And then Ryan, like as we were like done, he'd be like, "James, you're a fucking bitch." And you're like, "Dude, like, you just got your ass kicked
Ryan
so
will not
hard.
stop, dude.
You won't stop." And then it's like, well, you asked for it.
Even when we were kids, I remember there's a berry farm right up the road from my house.
Oh yeah,
the
yeah,
berry farm.
yeah.
And Ryan's mom's house is in those places where your mom
Yeah, like the
went to move.
condos. Yeah.
They back right up to it. There's a fence right there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like a little road. And if you could get through the berry farm, you could hop the fence and get right there.
Yeah.
If you don't, you have to go all the way around to my house.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah, it's like twice the
we
length.
did
Yeah,
that.
for
Well, there was
sure.
this dog there when we were a kid named Tank. It's a golden retriever named
yeah.
Tank, and it was always chained up out front, and its leash was long enough to get like a couple feet from the road.
Yeah.
But Tank was like, we just knew him because Stevie, the older kid that lived there, and but that dog was aggressive as fuck, dude.
Really?
Like his dogs now, babies. I could walk up and they're like, woo, woo. He's like, they're supposed to fucking bite you, but he's like, he would run at you if you were riding your bike as a kid, like run and just chain. Like,
And you're like,
you
"Oh,
know what I
shit,
mean? Like
yeah.
full length.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we were running one time. We were walking down the road, cut into the berry farm halfway
Yeah,
down the dirt
to
road.
like jump the fence to get to his house.
And
Yeah.
the dad was out there, and he was like, just get him. And the dog was free, bro. And we looked back, and that dog was I'm getting chills right now. Hauling ass, bro. And me and Ryan just sprinting fucking through the berry field to the wall. And I was in front of Ryan. I jumped on that fence, dude, like, whoom, over. And Ryan was close. The dog was close when Ryan was getting there, bro, and hopped the fence. And we were just... Like right now, I remember the exact feeling. We were like, "Oh my god, bro!"
Just Vietnam.
That guy was gonna let his dog just fucking tear us up, man.
Dude, the crazy shit is like totally acceptable. Like back then,
Dude,
like we did so many things that like it just didn't matter. I mean, even now, like 10-year-old kids can't even go to like the park and play by themselves. They get fucking child services and shit called on.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Dude, we had airsoft wars around neighborhoods
All the time.
with airsoft guns that looked like real guns.
Yeah, all the time.
Paintball?
I'm gonna bring mine in. We shoot each other with it.
No,
Yeah, on the podcast. We'll see how it feels.
do you have an airsoft or a BB gun?
Airsoft,
All right.
Smith and Wesson.
It's
like an actual gun.
Like a real gun company is just
Dude,
making
it's
airsoft
all
guns.
black. It has
Yep.
an orange tip.
Mine didn't.
but
It was
the-
gas.
Even the chamber right here is silver, like a
Yeah,
real gun.
yeah.
Like the only way to tell is weight. It's just super light,
Yeah,
obviously.
right.
But if like,
And the orange tip, but
yeah.
But like I had one that was CO2 that went into the the
yeah.
grip.
Those new ones came out. No one was playing with that shit, dude. CO2.
Yeah.
I remember you and Tevin, the little cartridges.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys, dude. That shit shoots way harder.
Yeah, it hurts bad. And you can't control it. That's the craziest thing when you think about it. Think about how many times we had airsoft wars with BBs that you really can't control because once the air hits them, zoom, we never wore like eye protection.
No, I did. My dad was like, he bought me the guns. I remember because we had packages of fucking construction glasses.
Yeah, right.
And I always wore like clear ones, the big ones, right?
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
But even then, no one got hit in the eye.
Isn't that crazy?
No one got hit in the eye that I remember.
Dude, nuts.
But we did fuck kids up.
Dude, I remember I think it was 8th grade. We had all just finished, and it was first day of like summer. Like not like we slept, and then it was the first day. It was like literally we got out of school and we walked to your house. We had bought water balloons. We had this huge water balloon fight because Josh Tate I think started to come in, and then there was like 8 kids chasing after one, and this lady in the minivan she's like, "I'll fucking call the cops," because she thought that kid was getting like jumped.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember my dad was home.
yeah,
What are you guys doing? And then he told him. And remember we walked up to her.
yeah,
I remember like, we're just playing.
yeah.
She's like, oh,
I
my
mean,
husband works for a sheriff. So I'm like, Jesus.
yeah.
I work for the school district.
We're just fucking around. Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of. Feel very blessed because we grew up in a time in which we could actually be kids and kind of do stupid stuff without having like these major crazy repercussions for like mistakes we made.
Yeah.
Like we kind of like it was like slaps on the wrist, but also like I feel like every time I got punished for doing something really stupid, it took me a while to like do that stupid thing again, or
Yeah,
like
it
I
was
would
bad.
rethink it depending on how. Yeah, like but Cardboard Kitty might be like one of the dumbest things like I've done. We put it.
yeah.
What it is you take like a
Piece of
cardboard box. Yeah, so a lot of times it was like pizza boxes.
Yeah.
And then you would cut out the shape of a cat, spray paint it black, and put like a marble or a penny or a dime, something that would create like a shine when a headlight was on it. Then you would
For an eyeball.
for an eyeball, yeah.
Yep.
Then you would put it out in the middle of the fucking street and just have it chill, and so that when a car would come, the headlights would go on it and they would slam on their brakes, or they would like,
Most
swerve
cars
or
just stop. Like,
yeah, well, yeah,
or they just run that
Or
bitch
they-
over, dude.
yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with
That
you
was the
people?
craziest part. It's like some people would like slow down and be like, "Oh, it's not real," and then some people were like, "Let's fucking kill it." You're like, dude.
I still remember. I think we had phones then. Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
you
And
were.
I
I
was
remember
playing
one
Crazy
time,
Train.
Crazy Train on it. Yeah,
I was standing up like, yeah, guys, and that guy just fucking pulled in the greenway.
yeah.
Stop right there.
Oh fuck,
We
we just
did.
run. Yeah, never catching us.
Dude, I had before my mom had the daycare, I can't remember exactly when my mom started it. I want to say I was in 4th grade when my mom started the daycare. But like up until that point, my parents worked jobs, so when I would get out of school, my mom paid the neighbors across the street who had 3 boys $5, and I would just go over there and drop my backpack off so they could leave the house locked up.
Yeah.
But that's how I learned how to break into houses. So I was like, I need to get up in my crib, dude. Be like
I need to get
7-year-old
up in my crib.
7-year-old
dude.
me's like, dude, I gotta get in my house. And I learned how to. My dad was always, so he's very disciplined, as you know.
Yeah,
But because I was free, I would always be like, kind of like the fucking runaround, doing mischievous shit. And older kids knew they could tell me to do something, and I would do it.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I specifically remember the tree in my front yard.
Yeah, the whole joke was like if you bet Jesse any amount of money, didn't matter how much it was, he would do it.
Dude, skateboarding was big when we were kids, and there was a
Yeah.
lot of skaters in my neighborhood.
It's really interesting because my side of the like neighborhood was more. There was skateboarding for sure, but rollerblading was a big thing too. I don't know if you guys did.
We
any of that.
rollerbladed and played hockey
Well,
on
like
Butternut.
yeah.
We had goals and shit, and we played with. There was like these few high school kids who always played with us, dude.
Isn't that, dude? This is another thing. We played this game. So when we first moved in, Arbor Homes, right behind my house, was not a thing.
Yeah.
It was just a green field, right? And when they started to do stuff, there was construction shit, and they had huge mounds of dirt that were tarped with like plastic tarps. Some of the older, just because you mentioned older kids, some of the older kids who were in like high school when we were in like 5th grade, we would play King of the Hill. The older kids would get on top of this fucking huge dirt mound, and we would try and get to the top. And when we got close, they would pick us up and just yeet us, and we just
All good.
and you would come home and like your lips were bleeding, and you're like have cuts on your face, and your parents are like, dude, what the fuck? And you're like, oh, we were just playing King of the Hill. Tommy threw me off, and I could only imagine if people drove by, just like an 18-year-old kid throwing like a 10-year-old, just yeah.
and the kids were cool with it.
And the kids were just like, ooh, and we were just like, yeah,
Run
fuck
back
yeah.
up.
And we just take it again. We're like, hurt us some more.
Dude.
Like, that's the type of shit that like if you saw an 18-year-old kid fucking around with a 12-year-old, like it would be you're going to jail. We would
Yeah.
like throw us. Like, can you throw me further? Harder, dude.
Butternut was Scott Rad lived over there. I don't even put names out there, but no one will know who he is unless you went to Butternut.
Yeah.
We would play football and street hockey
I don't
and
give
shit.
a fuck about calling people out and
And
shit.
it was like probably a 60-yard road, and on one side of the road there's like a good portion of those. Do you remember those green bushes? The green bushes that kind of like pop out like blooming almost, but they're like really prickly and super fucking like a robust. You get what I'm saying?
I don't know
They're on
which
the
ones they
sides of
are. though.
roads. They're like they're super big bushes, and they're rough. They're not soft. Anyway, the sides of the road and the other side was like.
Is it like
yard.
is it more like a kind of like a hedge type of
Yes,
bush? Yeah,
yes.
I know exactly what you're talking
And if
about.
you get, have you ever? Every kid got pushed into it. when
Yeah,
we were
you
kids.
get fucking thrown in that shit and you can't get out
Yeah,
because
and
because you like sink into it.
Yeah, and it's just uncomfortable as fuck.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt, but it's like we would play tackle football on the side. So
Yeah.
be like little us running, and like a sophomore would just blast us into the bush.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, that's this type of shit though that made us tough. It made us like not cry about certain shit. Like kids now, dude, you like kind of push them over and they're like Brody. I love Brody to death, but he's kind of wimpy.
Yeah.
Like to where like you kind of mess with him a little bit and it's instantly like, whoa, and you're like, bro,
Gotta
this
get him out.
you just have to get your shit kicked in a little bit, you know? Because, dude, in basketball too, like we were so like it was just rough. Like it was just
Yeah.
like football.
We still play rough.
Yeah, but
But,
like
like-
I'm just saying that. I don't know. I think a lot of
Dude, the game we played.
yeah. A lot
I
of
don't know what
stuff
they
just-
call it. I mean, back in the day it was called Smear the Queer.
Yeah.
But
It's probably something similar.
whoever had the ball
Yeah, getting fucked
Getting
by like
messed up, dude.
dude.
Full
Yeah, like
speed, no
you'd be
pads.
running and there'd be like 16 other people playing, and you had to like not get destroyed by 16 people.
Dude. Fun.
Yeah, so fun. I remember we were playing on the football field, and I like picked the ball up and I started running. And you blindsided the shit out of me.
Yeah, that's a dick move. I remember that. I was laying down.
Yeah,
You couldn't see me, and you were like looking the other way.
yeah,
I was like, dude, I hit him pretty hard. Like,
yeah. I
you
was
were
always
good
cool
though.
about it.
You were always cool. I'm always cool with getting hit in games too. Like, you get elbowed in the face. Like,
I
that's all
remember.
good.
I remember it was one of the first practices of 8th grade football. It was like a kickoff, and I was on kickoff, and your kick return, you were close, and like
You fucked me.
I was just like kind of jogging. You like turned to look for the ball, and I was like, oh,
I remember that.
he's gonna get
You
it.
fucking blasted me. Dude.
Yeah, so like football moments were always really cool. I remember like you ever think about like coaches you had? Like Mark Richards was a good coach. Bill Detlefs, Ryan's dad, was a good coach.
Oh yeah.
The one thing I didn't like about Mark was just like, I mean,
He yelled a lot.
he yelled a lot, but
But he got us to be competitive. I think
really
he
competitive.
Drew that out of us.
Yeah,
big time.
for sure. But like Ken Bell, like that was the first time, like in like 6th grade, I started watching like film
Yeah.
and like breaking
I did
people,
not.
you know, and all this. Well, it would have been 7th grade, like because he lived right up here in Arbor too, and he would be like, come over and we'll watch like film. And I remember watching like the Southridge game film so that because we were playing them in the championship round, and studying their play, like all this shit.
Dude,
I was like, dude,
I'll
that's
say this.
insane.
We had coaches that cared, which
We really
I don't
did.
go to
Yep.
fucking kids games anymore, so I don't know how many. I'm sure there's still plenty of people who care, but like we got blessed with coaches who cared about winning randomly at 4th grade, like basketball.
Yeah.
We want to win.
Yeah, I mean, we 100% did. Like, my 5th grade year, I had these coaches that were pretty young. So they probably were like 22 when I was in 5th grade. And so I think it was probably part of like their call, like they had to like do something for college. It was like an
Yeah.
extracurricular type thing to get credit. But they like really cared. They didn't have to. And then after 5th grade, then it was Ken Bell, coach basketball. And Ken Bell's probably one of the most competitive people I know.
Yeah.
And so he really cared. And then when we switched off to do the Rebels, like Mark Richards really cared about winning. So
Yeah,
did Bill.
we had
Mark
Mark and
cared
Bill
so
for-
much that was like, if someone got hurt, he was like, you fucking hurt him back.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, what?
We're
We were
gonna
like,
get him back.
Yeah, he's like, they hurt. Like, I remember one time
You
Spencer
remember
went up
that.
for a
Don't
layup.
forget that.
Yeah,
Yes.
Spencer went
Holy
up for a
shit.
layup, and the guy went to block him and accidentally, hit him,
got
and he got
like
like
a concussion.
a concussion. And Mark was
Wow.
he's like, you go fuck them up. And we were, as kids, you're like, what? And he's
we
like,
did.
yeah, and he's like, you fucking hit him. And you're like, oh, okay. Like,
Dude.
what? Yeah.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
We had Mark and Bill from 4th grade on.
Yeah,
that's
so
the first time
yeah.
I played organized basketball was 4th
Yeah.
grade.
7th grade was when I had, because they were the dads at the time in 6th
Mark
grade.
helped coach in 6th grade as well, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Ken was definitely more of
Yeah,
the.
he was the head coach.
Yeah, and then when there was so much politics, man. I think there always is, but in like who makes teams, because there's people that shouldn't have made teams. Like they're just not ball players, and compared to like a couple of the other people. And I always thought that like certain players, I always felt bad for. Like I thought Troy could ball pretty well. Like he could have played.
Athletic.
He was athletic. Who else? Eno. Like the problem with Eno was that he didn't get into basketball. I think until
was
later.
good at basketball. We would always play pickup
so
games. He was just
tough.
like,
He was strong as fuck,
yeah,
dude.
Eno was physical.
He's good. Just got this base that's insane. Like you cannot push.
What was that videos? The videos we were watching. Remember me and Eno going at it. I remember saying something to Eno because
Probably, yeah.
Eno always went hard.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't not appreciate it. I
Yeah,
like that.
for sure.
But I'm one to be like, oh, all right.
I think he kind of reminded me of like
He had a wet jumper too. Like
Yeah, dude.
Mid range.
yeah,
Butter,
dude. And so like I think it was
he's
because
so smart.
he he's
just
just like
figured out
geometry
how
in
to
it. He's
shoot.
like watch this shit. Yeah. No, I think the problem was he just didn't have basketball IQ.
Yeah.
But we had people on our team that had like great fundamentals, but they just couldn't ball. Like they couldn't play.
Yeah.
And it was like very similar to some of the people that were on like the squad that we played at OHSU. Like they're athletic and they can run and throw the ball at the hoop, but they never play basketball, so they don't know what to do.
Yeah. You excited to play?
I'm really excited to play. How's your leg, by the way? Better? You weren't limping or anything? That's coming
Rehabbing
in.
it. Yeah.
That's good.
I took the next day was New Year's when I heard it, and then
So you had that off.
I worked Thursday. I was gonna work like a half day, but I kept going and
It was okay.
very conscious of what I do. So
Yeah.
like I shortened my stride length. I've injured my lower body, my ankles, and I've
Yeah,
pulled
your
my hamstring
ankles
before,
fucked.
so I know what I have to do. Can't stretch, but have to rehab and work it out. So I was rolling it the other day, and it hurt, but
Yeah.
rehab hurts.
Yeah.
So I pulled my hamstring on a Tuesday of the second of the last week of my football career in college. So it was the second to the last game, and I pulled it on Tuesday, first practice, and then we played Saturday, and I rehabbed the fuck out of it, dude, and played. So I know I can come, but I'm not in that shape anymore.
Yeah.
But I know what I have to do. I've been icing it. I take good care of it.
Yeah.
Don't stretch it.
Good.
But yeah, when I keep my legs straight and I bend, yeah, it was probably like grade 3, bro. My shit was fucked up.
Yeah. Dude, I saw it. Yeah. I was like, oh, God.
It was fucked up.
Where are you on The Office now?
Well, I took a break to watch some. I had to break it up, or else I was gonna finish the damn show.
Yeah.
No, season 3 or season 4 or something. I made it past the 40-minute episodes. You know, like the first 4.
Yeah, there's a couple of them that are a
Probably
little
on
bit
like
longer.
episode 5 or something.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Good times. Really good times. Shit. Well, we talk about. I want to talk to you about the Walking Dead comics. And then I got a couple. I want to talk about 2020 goals for the podcast. I think that'll be kind of fun. Set some goals early on. Since it's only day 5 of the new year, but dude, the Walking Dead comics are fucking savage as shit.
Like I'd never watched a show or nothing.
Ever?
No.
You could probably watch it and like it up until like season 4, maybe season 3.
Yeah.
Then it gets bad. Because the thing about the show, I don't understand anybody who still watches it. There's no end game to it at all. It's just rinse and repeat of you're in a post-apocalyptic world, you try to survive, you find a better shelter, someone tries to take your shelter, you defend it, or you lose it, you're on the run again, you find a shelter, someone comes to try and take it.
They should just cure the zombies.
Yeah. They should. They should. Like,
there should be some sort of.
They get to the CDC and it's just like, there's no. Yeah, it's just like, there's nothing. But the show's pretty savage. Like, the show opens up on a scene where, like, the main character, Rick Grimes, is, like, walking around and he sees this little girl zombie and he shoots her in the fucking face with, like, a .44 Magnum.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, the little girl's, like, 6. And he's just like, pow!
Jesus.
Yeah, so it's, like, it's savage as shit. But in the comics, bro, there's no holding back.
Really?
Dude, okay, so since you're not going to watch it.
No.
In the comics, there's a bad guy called the Governor. He captures some of the people in, like, the good group, the group that you want to, like, win. And
I had no idea it was a comic, by the way.
yeah, that's what it started out as. Robert Kirkman, I think, is the author. He tortures the shit out of this character named Michonne, who's this black girl who uses, like, a samurai sword, and she's a super cool character in both the show and the comic. But he, like, brutally, like, rapes her.
Oh, jeez, dude. That's in the comic? What the hell?
Yeah, and, like, really beats the shit out of her, and finally she gets out. She captures him and, like, nails his dick to the ground.
Whoa.
And, like, really beats the shit out, like, fucks him up, right? And so that, after all these things, like, pretty bad shit, right? It then comes into, like, a retaliation of, like, war. Like, he has, like, a tank. And, like, they're fighting, like, they're at a prison that they've, like, set up camp in a prison. And they're fighting, and Rick, who's the main character, has a wife named Lori, and they have a baby.
Mm-hmm.
During the war, the governor tells them to, like, start shooting, and they're running away, and a bullet goes through the baby and Lori and kills both of them.
Jesus, dude.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah, I thought comics were, like, meant for, like, younger.
This one's not.
Jesus.
I remember reading it. I'm like, oh my God. Like, this is nuts.
Spider-Man's not any, like, much different, right? Like, it's not like Spider-Man's out there killing fuckers. Versus, like,
yeah, no.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, you know what I'm saying? The comic, I feel like, is not supposed to have rape.
Yeah, no, yeah. Like, yeah, Spider-Man's very different. And, like, I mean, it's a comic, but it's, like, obviously, yeah, it's insane. Like, Spider-Man's very much for everyone.
Yeah.
Where this is, like, made for people who are really into some dark stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, like, even I don't know, like, it was so nuts to be, like, you're like, it's, like, a full page, too, of, like, the baby and, like, you know, like, because I have this huge compendium, so it's, like, a book of all of the comics, because typically speaking, comics are, like, 15 pages.
Yeah.
Like issue. And then so it took all the issues from a certain block and pushed them into one big book. And so like you open it up and it's just this like centerfold of bullet going through baby and mom.
Wow.
And you're like, I mean infant.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, like how are you doing that? And then you start to watch the show and you're like, how the fuck are they going to do this?
Yeah.
And they don't do it. Yeah. But
stay away from it.
yeah, I mean, it's like really insane. Like really, really insane.
I'll have to read it maybe.
Yeah, I still have them. They're savage as fuck.
I'll have to read it.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember reading it because I was into the show for a while. And then I was like, oh my God. And I stopped before like the almost even the more savage guy who's like Negan.
Yeah. These are all characters from the show, right? Because I remember.
Yeah, I mean, there's some shows that are made up, like Daryl, who's played by Norman Reedus. He wasn't like an actual character in the comic. He was made up for the show.
That's cool.
Yeah. But, I mean, it was nuts. I actually really enjoy like post-apocalyptic, zombie. Like, I like that kind of stuff.
I do too.
I just don't like it when it feels like there's no anything in it. It's just like you're just in the world and it's a survival thing. It's like, well, I don't give a fuck because
there's no video games like that.
There are some like DayZ and Escape from Tarkov, and there's games that are open world.
I mean, are they? Oh, they're open world.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking of.
I mean, Fallout's like that. You know, I mean,
cool.
there are some, but like
they're such slow burns. It's hard.
They are slow burns.
I've been thinking about getting the new Star Wars video game.
I heard it's sick. It looks cool.
9 out of 10 on IGN.
Yeah, it looks cool.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I always just go and watch people stream, and like if they're having fun or like
that's what I do. I go to Mixer.
Yeah, Mixer or Twitch or wherever it is, like just see what people are into. I mean, that's how I started streaming. I just looked into. I was like, oh, I want to see what The Sims 4 is about. Like, is it actually gonna be good? And I like watched somebody.
Sims, bro.
And I watched it. Remember when we played Sims Bustin' Out on Xbox?
Yeah, all the time.
It was so fun. Yeah, man. I don't know, like, it's cool. You know what's really cool?
Yo, hold on. Teespring?
Yeah.
You were saying with the shirts and stuff?
I just brought it up, yeah.
Okay. Can you do the designs on there? Or you just got to post. So, because I was thinking about doing Illustrator again.
So if you give me a design, just make sure you export it transparent.
But you can't design on Teespring. Just post, right?
You take the design and add the image, and then you can change it around to where it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what I mean is, like, you're not designing everything, like, via Illustrator through Teespring.
No, yeah. So, like, what I did was I just took the logo that we had for the Neighbors podcast, and then I just put a transparent background, then I uploaded the image to Teespring, and I threw it on a shirt or whatever. And right now, I mean, we have a couple – what do we have? We have a couple different things. We have a T-shirt, a hoodie – a long sleeve and a tank top in white with black logo and black with white logo. And then we have 2 mugs that are the same color scheme. I tried to price everything like pretty fairly.
Yeah.
Which I think I did a decent job. Like the tank tops and the T-shirt are $20. The long sleeves $26.99, and the hoodie's $40. I feel like that's pretty, like, mostly what it is. And then the coffee mugs are only $12.
Probably below what most people are paying for stuff, I feel like.
And then the coffee mugs are only $12.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to add hats, but I wanted to see if people were interested in buying stuff before I add it, because you have to pay to have, like, the logo made. Mm-hmm. And we've had
there's a lot of stuff we could do with it, for sure.
Well, there's so many things
outside of, like, doing just the
Neighbors logo. Yeah, like, there's so many things, like, we talk about that if we design something or... I mean, five orders have been made. I think 4 people have bought stuff with 5 different products. Their orders have been 5, and we have a pretty. I mean, it's like profitable,
bro.
Like, it doesn't cost us any money to do, which is the nice thing.
We got to get nice with some stuff and make some stuff. I was like, I'm not just gonna slap JB Mondays on a damn shirt.
Yeah, right.
But
it's gonna be
there's a lot
different.
of stuff with Mondays you could go into and different things. So. Definitely gonna brainstorm.
Or like
I
things
just
that we've
bust
said.
out the freaking old sketchbook, dude.
Yeah, sketch it, and then we can give it to somebody to make, or we can try and make it. You know.
I don't have Illustrator anymore. I used to, but
I have it. I have a computer over here.
It doesn't cost a bunch, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's super fun. I think it's cool because if people want to, like I said, like this is how I always feel about long episodes too. Is like the content's there, right? So if like if you listen to an hour of it and you're still feeling it, but you just for whatever reason get busy, you can't listen to it. Well, that next hour's there.
Yep, I always do that when I listen to the
Yeah.
podcast I listen to.
And then it's the same thing with like this. Like Teespring literally costs $0 for us.
Yeah.
So it's just a place for us to host stuff and for Teespring to make money and for us to make some shit. And if we make money, then it gets changed to, do we go and rent out a studio? Do we can we buy new? Because I want to get like the Rodecaster stuff, and I want to get like the Shure, like the actual like the $500, $400 like mics. Like I love these mics; these are really nice.
Yeah.
But like there's steps ahead of us.
I wish you would have told me about goals beforehand. I mean, you could tell me yours right now.
Oh, I mean,
will concur with it.
I haven't really even thought about it.
I think Monday,
I just thought it would be cool.
Maybe next Monday, I'll come in with more of like distinct list.
Yeah, for sure. Stuff. I just thought we brainstormed some stuff.
Yeah.
So in 2018, we started in May.
Mm-hmm.
So the podcast started in May and late May. So I think our first episode was the 27th.
Uh-huh.
So really June. But we ended it with 4,750. So if you go May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, that's 8 months. And if you were to divide that, it's about, I think, like 600. Yeah, it's 593.75 downloads a month. So about 600. I don't know, very doable for 2019 for sure.
Push it to 1,000 at the minimum. I mean, being realistic.
Average, because if you continue to push forward, you'll start out lower than that at the beginning. And
I think obviously you want to shoot for high, but I think I'm big on being realistic too.
Yeah.
Just off, brainstorming that portion of things. In terms of like, I think the t-shirt stuff, the merch thing is cool. I think expanding the merch and making it more of about us, like what we talk about and stuff like that. Like, for instance, I always reference Pat McAfee's show, but I think he's pretty cool. Obviously, as a platform, when he started, he was a former NFL punter. But even then, he's just a punter.
Yeah.
Punters are people too, but no one knows punters all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
But he's done a good job. And like some of their merch, for example, is like they do a lot of Pat McAfee show shit, and they do like Christmas stuff. They release merch, but they obviously have a lot of money to do that.
Yeah.
But they would take like basically the little characters from, I can't remember that football game from back in the day. Tech. What the hell is it? Techman? No. Tech Bowl.
I don't remember.
It was like football something bowl. Anyway, it's basically like the first Madden or whatever, football game on arcade type system. And the characters are all like little, just, cartoony, you know, I don't even know how to say it. 64-bit fucking characters. Yeah. Even less than that.
Probably 8-bit,
Yeah, tiny guys. And they would take like, say the Seattle Seahawks, right? The best players. There's like Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Bobby Wagner.
Yeah.
Whoever else you want on there, DK Metcalf. They would put them on there as those little characters, bigger, smaller, whatever, put their number, don't reference NFL or anything, and they would just put like cheat code over it.
Yeah.
And it would be like, they did that for every team. And I was like, that's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Playing off stuff. We talk a lot about shows, movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the hard part is like, some of the stuff like similar to like NFL, like you just can't put that branding on there.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, how could I do the pinwheel? Because I can't add any shit so I was like thinking of doing kind of like, like a cartoonish thing with like Doug and I holding like an actual pinwheel that was like painted black and red,
Yeah.
It's like you can't get in trouble for that shit.
Yeah, so I think we have a lot of options.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to get creative, which is the most fun part about it.
Gotta have a session.
Yeah.
Sit down and go to work.
Sit down and do your shit, yeah. I don't know, I think like the cool part about the podcast, even at 8 months later, is it's never been about making money.
No.
Right? It's always been about having fun. But then you go, okay, like it's doing way better. Like
than expected.
Like if at the beginning someone's like, "Oh, you're going to average 600 downloads a month." I'd be like, "Bullshit."
At the beginning, like you're going to continue doing the podcast 8 months later.
Yeah. It's like even that, it's like you're going to buy 20, you're going to continue to do it, and not only do it but like be looking to expand into different shows. Like I've thought about like can the Neighbors podcast do a show where I'm not on it?
Yes.
Like could I just get I'll produce it. I'll get it set up and have things going on, but like I won't be sitting down at the table with them. Yep. Like it's just two people talking about something.
That's what we're talking about. Corey Center, if he ever makes to this point, like the betting side of things. I love talking betting with him. sports stuff. You know, different. You guys talk about basketball and everything. So
Yeah, but
There's
there's
a
so
lot of
many things.
avenues.
I mean, game. There's books. There's I could dedicate an actual show to just like how I did with Survivor, but it could be a different TV show or shows in general or movies in general.
movie reviews.
It could be. There's so many things. Working out. There's just so much stuff that can go.
Maybe trying to expand into the YouTube verse a little bit.
Yeah, YouTube. I mean, we've talked about doing like the South Park reactions and different things like that. I think that there's just so many options, and it's just all about how much do we want to do. And then if we do continue to do a lot, then you have to try and make some stuff about making some money.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be spending more if you're doing more things.
I think we're on the right track for sure.
Me too. Man, it's so crazy too, like how much, like I have never woken up and been like, fuck, I have to record the podcast.
Yeah, I just wake up, I'm like, damn, I'm a little tired. I want to sleep in. But this is so routine to me now.
Yeah. But even then it's not, I want to sleep in so I don't do the podcast. It's I want to sleep in. We can do the podcast later and we're going to get it done. I mean, I've even recorded some episodes by myself. Yeah. Like, I think I did one of the Blazer ones by myself. Mm-hmm. And I still talk for like an hour.
Yeah.
I just really enjoy it. It's fun as fuck. And I get to talk to so many different people.
It's cool, man. It's cool. I really enjoy it. I don't think a lot of people expect nowadays in this day and age to continue doing something. You see a lot of shit started and it just goes for a little bit and then it dies out.
Yeah.
Yeah. The success right now is a big thing, instant gratification.
Yeah, for sure.
And still just can't beat old school consistency and hard work.
Yeah, what's crazy for me is I'm in this Facebook group that's like called like the podcast movement or whatever. Unfortunately, you can't do like any advertising on it. Yeah, talking about it. I feel like that's like every Facebook group. Yeah, don't talk about some shit, dude. I got banned from the Oregon Reddit because I posted stuff. And they're like, this isn't. You don't solicit stuff. I'm like, I'm not soliciting anything. Like, it's Oregon-based stuff, and I posted an Oregon-based product that I like, and seeing if you guys would like it too. Yeah. Fuck you.
Lame. Yeah, well, I get it where they're coming from.
Well, I get it too, but it's like you could like send me a message, and like, oh, this is his first post, and then when I comment back and be like, hey, I didn't know that this was against rules because there's no rules that say I can't post links.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, you're banned. It's like fuck you. It's like okay, bitch. Anyway, I just think that. Overall, it's just a cool thing, and I've been talked to by so many different people. It's like, oh, I don't live there anymore. It's so cool to see what people are doing, and it's so fun to see how people are, how people are, what they're up to, and there's so many people that I haven't even been able to.
It's more genuine way.
Oh yeah, and long form.
Yep.
No one does long form like this. It's all when you watch in the news or you watch interviews on the radio or listen to them or you even. Other shit, it's like they're interviewed for 10 minutes. They're all asked the same fucking question. Yeah. You don't get to like just talk. I mean, even to reference like Joe Rogan, it's like even having Bernie Sanders on for an hour, even though I don't agree with a lot of the stuff he says.
Interesting to hear long form conversation.
It was so interesting and cool to hear Bernie talk for an hour where he wasn't under pressure to create sound bites in 10 seconds or answer super complex questions in 20 seconds. It's like, how are you going to change the like all this shit? And you're like, there's no way he could answer this.
Yeah, it's not a good format. But yeah, I agree. It's enjoyable to hear people sit down and talk and actually think things through.
Yeah.
Rather than just spitting, like you said, a soundbite.
Yeah, soundbite being like, we have to change everything and educate. And it's like, a lot of times too, when I hear certain things like that, it's like, I'm out.
Yeah. I don't want to sit there and listen to any of that shit.
Regardless of right, left, middle, blah, 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 up, down. Like, if your thing is, in my opinion, like super radical for me, I'm just so into, like, you never get into your car and you have the radio on a little bit, you don't just go boom and just crank that shit up to 100. You crank it up 5 notches and then 2, and then you just continue to go and you change things slowly. Yeah. But when you hear people who are like, I mean, it can be in anything. Yeah. It doesn't have to be specifically politics, but it's also like even like the New York Knicks coach gets fired a couple of games in, right? You've given him 10 games.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
10, or 15 or whatever it is. It's like, plus not only that, New York, you guys didn't sign anybody. You guys had the most money and you signed Julius Randle. That's it. Yeah. So, but that's what I mean is it's like, it's such a crazy, like, oh, we have to change everything. Blow it up. Change. Fuck it. Like, we have to do all this shit.
There's no baseline for anything.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't understand that at all. And kind of talking about what you were saying for instant gratification, like, it's been instant for me in terms of, like, what we've had.
It's fast.
Like, it still blows my mind sometimes. Like the day that we got the 85 downloads in one day with Jordan, it was like, dude, what?
It's pretty sick, dude.
Yeah, and I've always had this fear that like somebody, like, so Kirsten, when I first started streaming, would jump into my stream and like talk, and so like when I had a couple people in the stream, she would talk, and it cost other people to talk, and then she would like donate money, but she was doing it all under a pseudonym, so I had no idea it was her.
Yeah,
I saw it was some random person. I had like suspicions because like this seems weird, like all of a sudden like this is happening, or like right away, but I didn't know it was her, and so I always had this fear like somebody is like trying to help out, and they're just like refreshing or like downloading it from Spotify, YouTube, and doing all this stuff, especially since I post stuff about like download streaks. Like somebody's just like, oh, I'll hope them get the download streak and go listen on a different platform.
Yeah,
I hope that's not happening. I don't think it is, dude. In this month, so it's the 5th, we've had 94 downloads, which is a little bit like behind like our normal average, but the places that have listened, like the United States, Canada, Germany, France, and Romania.
What the hell?
So it's just like, it's super cool. If you, yeah, it's just like, what the
crazy.
fuck is happening, dude? And if you go to like all time stuff, like, here, let me see. I'm just going to do countries because I think it's nuts. Like how many countries have listened to us?
Yeah.
The United States has, Canada, Argentina. Argentina has listened 26 times. Canada has listened 56 times. UK, Brazil, Sweden, Bolivia, Germany, Norway, Costa Rica, Mexico, Turkey, Pakistan, Netherlands, Japan, France, Italy, South Korea, Thailand, Romania, Portugal, Puerto Rico, Poland, India, Iceland, Finland, Spain, Aruba, Australia, United Arab Emirates, South Africa, and then there's 3 that are others.
What the fuck?
That's
dude,
like,
the internet is wild.
dude.
What the
That's
fuck?
like a lot of fucking countries, in my opinion.
Yeah, that is.
For like being in the very western, like the furthest west you
Portland,
could be in
Oregon.
Portland. You know, like it's just weird. And I mean, it's so cool too. It's like Japan, and a lot of these places have listened a few times. You know, like not just once. There's a lot that have only listened to like 1 episode or whatever, but like Japan has listened to 2. So I'm always like curious, if is that somebody who's in like the military and they're stationed there, or is it actually like 2 people who are like native Japanese people that are just listening and just checked it out because for some reason it popped up.
Yeah, I mean, if you search neighbors on Apple, it's like right there.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. The more people who subscribe and comment, or what is it called? They rate it. Yeah, the more people who do that, the higher we are on the list. So, you know, good pop in there. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's super cool, man. I fucking love it. It's so awesome. And then there's other things that we haven't even experimented with. Like we can do live shows. I don't know how, but we could learn
At some point.
You know, like we could do like a podcast meeting. Like we're still just doing this. We just do JB Monday live, and so it will be posted later. But people can pay to listen to it live, and we could even do premiums. Like we could do one where it's like, oh, you paid $2, or we could even, if people were really interested in helping us out too, is like Patreon, and merch and other things like that we haven't even experimented with, mostly because
we're not there yet.
And that was the biggest thing, was like people were like, why haven't you done merch yet? And it's like, I don't know, man, because like we average 30 listens a day, and the chances people are going to want to buy merch it's just unlikely.
Low, yeah.
It's unlikely. So I didn't want to do it, but I was like, that's a cool thing to launch in 2020.
Yeah.
We'll just have it there.
Might as well
fucking
start
free.
it off.
Yeah, start it off with something new. Dude, I have you have to pee?
Yes.
Yeah, because you drank half that fucking water and all that coffee.
Well.
I have to pee too, actually, but go ahead. Go. I'll talk.
All right.
Yeah. We only got, 30 minutes left? 20 minutes left?
I gotta bounce.
Do you? Pee. But yeah, I mean, just talking about like the podcast success and the ability to do stuff, like it very much reminds me of my old days of like Twitch and being able to do something creative that is instant in creativity, where a lot of times like painting, photography, writing, drawing, whatever it might be, there's no real instant, like it takes a while to get the finished product. But with podcasting, I can sit here and talk, and then the product's finished really quickly and it's pushed out. You guys can listen to it, and I can get feedback. I think that's one thing too that's like a goal of mine, is to somehow figure out a way for you guys to want to be more involved in some of the decisions, or at least giving the opinions, to know like certain things that you guys would like to see done, or whether it be different shows or different people on. Just you guys figuring a way for you guys for me to get you guys to like talk to me more and like comment stuff, or post stuff about us, give us your opinions, those kinds of things, so that we can adjust or learn or add or grow, just grow in different ways. I think is really important. It was something that's really hard, I think, is to get constructive criticism from people because they don't want to make somebody mad. That's what it was always like with Twitch. I was like, what can I do to be better, be a better streamer? And people were like, you're great, you're amazing now. And it's like, yeah, but I have 20 people watching me. There's something I could be doing better, or more. Mm-hmm. So the podcast
sometimes it's just time though as well.
And it can be, for sure, but I don't think that the podcast is perfect.
No.
There's got to be things that we can upgrade and do.
Improve on, but sometimes, it's just like we said, consistency and time.
Yeah.
Give it a little bit of time.
The craziest part to me is, this is episode 64 of, base podcast stuff, so, Monday, Friday.
Yeah.
But that doesn't count the Blazer podcast or Survivor. I think we're almost at 90.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And I have a really solid idea for how I want to do the D&D stuff now. I know exactly what I'm going to do. It's just going to take some time to, put it together.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. And it's going to be fucking sick.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah. It's going to be really cool. Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah. It's going to be, I think, because I had the idea for, paranormal and D&D, and when I had sent out, a little group text to Jesse and to Doug, and I think it was just with us.
Yeah.
We were talking about it, and there was the concern that D&D just didn't lend itself to podcasting. And although there are a lot of D&D podcasts, I could see why the
listening base.
Yeah, listening base is, and this is the thing, is this is why it's so cool, is because I have two people who genuinely care about the success of the channel or the show. Mm-hmm. And they're willing to put in real ideas and counter with real concerns that make sense to think about, because before, when it's just me, I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
And not know, and I could be wasting my time, or I wouldn't even think of something that could have been more successful, or on the same line of doing a show like the D&D thing. Well, if it doesn't lend itself to listening all that well, what can we do to make it more successful? Mm-hmm. I think that's really important. And I think the biggest thing is that with our group of people who listen constantly and consistently, none of them play D&D.
Yeah, probably not.
So they won't understand the rules. They won't understand what's going on. So it's, how do we make it so that they can understand and enjoy it? And I know how now.
All right.
I have a very, I don't want to talk about it, but I have a very good idea on how I can make it happen. You gotta go to lunch or dinner, breakfast. What day? What time is it?
It's 10:17.
Yeah. Who's meeting you where? And
my
when?
cousins.
At Buddies.
It's supposed to be Buddies, but that's up in the air right now. I gotta go home and see my mom.
Oh, okay. You gotta go right now.
Yeah, very shortly.
Okay.
So it's just
For 5 minutes.
Yeah, at least. At the
Minimum. Most.
At
Okay.
most.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can tie it up. I think we talked about a lot of cool stuff in this podcast, so it was fun.
Yes, we did.
And then I think Jesse was talking about, we'll break down more goals and we'll come forward and brainstorm it more next Sunday. But anyway, thanks guys so much for listening and being a part of the podcast from, like I said, early May or late May.
Yeah, happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah, we had a blast at James's house. It was so much fun.
New decade.
Roaring 20s.
The roaring 20s.
I'm really excited. Sometimes you enter into a new year, or you enter into I guess this time a new decade, and you're very concerned on what's going to happen or what you're going to do. And although my job stuff is still kind of all the other aspects of my life are so cool.
Things will continue to fall into place.
Yeah, I think so too. Make sure to follow us at Neighbor Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. The website for our merch is in the description below. Make sure to check that out. Even if you don't buy anything, just check it out and see, so that if you have any opinions on things that we could do or make it better. I mean, even opinions on price point is fine with me. Yeah. I'm cool with tinkering with prices, because I want to make sure that if you want something, you can afford it. But I also have to make sure that that we're getting something out of it, that it's worth it. So I thought that getting 5 orders within the first day was cool.
Pretty cool.
And if that's all we get is 5 orders, and 5 people are going to be wearing Neighbor Podcast stuff, which is awesome.
More than 0.
Yeah, more than 0. So we really appreciate that. Make sure to follow Jesse's social medias down below. Those are always linked. Don't know who is going to be the guest for next Friday, but I'll figure it out. And then still, like I said, I'm working on the D&D show, and that will probably take over for Thursday, but it might be after season 40 of Survivor. It depends on how long it takes me to work it out, but I got a good idea.
Right on.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So thanks, guys. Take care. Have a great week, work week, and we will see you on Friday. Bye-bye.